for Teach Like This, and this is one of my favorite strategies, the Jigsaw. The Jigsaw strategy has been around for a long time, and it was initially started in order to ease racial tension in ethnically diverse classrooms. In a Jigsaw activity, each person's role is vital in order for the success of the group. The end product of a Jigsaw activity has each student teaching the rest of their group about their one unique, specific task that they learned about. The other members of the group need to pay very close attention to this report, otherwise they won't do well on the test that's about to follow. Their only chance to get the information is to listen to their group member. In order to ensure that that report is accurate, another step is built in before the presentation. Let's take a look at my imaginary classroom. In this classroom I have 16 students. I've divided them up into 4 groups. Each group is given their own independent article to read. After each individual student reads the article, they confer with their group about key points and key pieces of information that they need to pass on. Once they've identified their key points, they take time to make talking points and small presentations in which they're going to bring with them to their expert groups. Students move around the room to form expert groups. As you can see, each group has at least one member of every home group. Students then share their information one at a time with each member of their expert group. In the expert groups, students are taking notes and paying very close attention to the presentation, as this is their only chance to get the information that's being presented. Finally, after everybody has presented, students move back into their home groups. In their home groups, they compare information that they got from each of their expert groups. Students missing piece of information have a final opportunity in order to add that information into their notes. The Jigsaw method is extremely efficient at learning a variety of new information. It also requires individual accountability and taking ownership of your learning. Group members must work as a team to accomplish a common goal. Cooperation is embedded in the design of this strategy. In order to do a Jigsaw activity in your classroom, follow these simple steps. First, divide the class in groups of 4 to 6 students. Be sure to make these groups heterogeneous, meaning it should be as diverse as possible. Don't stick friends with friends or people that have the same racial background or socioeconomic background together. Assign each student to only learn one segment. Make sure they don't have direct access to any other information besides their own segment. Give students time to read over their segment at least twice. There's no need for memorization, but they should be familiar with it. Next, allow students to move into their home groups. In their home groups, they're going to be comparing notes and things that they find important in the segment that they've read. At this time, they should be coming up together with a presentation that they're going to each bring to their own expert groups. Everybody has stake in this presentation because everyone is going to have to give it at some point. Once the presentations are done, have students move into their expert groups. These groups are called expert groups because each member of the group is an expert in one segment of the learning. Have each expert give his or her presentation to the rest of the expert group. Encourage other students in the expert group to ask questions if they need clarification. Float from group to group to see how the interaction is going. If one group's having trouble because of a disruptive student, or if a presentation is pretty weak, then you can provide the appropriate intervention. At the end of the lesson, provide some sort of test, quiz, or assessment so the students realize that this information that they're learning is valuable and that you find these sessions important. As we all know, there's a variety of different kinds of students in your classroom. It's a good idea to rotate the role of the group leader in every Jigsaw activity that you do. And that way, students that like being dominant will be forced to take a back seat and allow other students to enhance the skill that they don't necessarily exhibit. Another concern is the slow student. What happens if a student gives an inferior report in the expert group? The grade of all of those other group members is going to suffer. Doing a proper Jigsaw activity accounts for that student, in which case that student's information will be bolstered during their time in the home group. Another possible solution to assist that slow learner, if your student groups don't divide up evenly and you have an extra student, pair up that extra student with a slow learner. Then, meet with them both individually and tell them that they are going to be responsible for the information, but they're going to work in tandem. The slow learner will be presenting most of the information, and the other student that's matched up with them will be adding additional information afterwards. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have those bright learners. This strategy is tailor-made to have those students add more responsibility and become a teacher for the rest of their classmates. This challenge provides motivation for them to do their best work. Additionally, the average and slow learners really benefit from that peer-to-peer interaction. As a recap, the Jigsaw activity provides a positive collaborative work environment in your classroom. Students need to rely on each other in order to achieve success. Also, it provides structure to collaboration so that this time isn't wasted. That's all for this video. If you want additional information, connect with me on Twitter, on email, or by commenting down below. Also, click subscribe in order to get weekly teaching strategies in your newsfeed. I'm Alex, and that's Teach Like This.